What if the most committed thing you do at work, which is basically being available all the time, is the exact thing quietly costing you your life outside of work? In this episode, I'm busting the myth that balance even exists and handing you one boundary shift that protects your time and your job. If you've got a day off work scheduled very soon, this is the episode to tune into. If you're a high-achieving corporate woman running on empty, saying yes out of guilt, carrying everyone, and wondering when it got this heavy, and you want your identity back, boundaries that actually hold, and a life that fits, you're in the right place. Hey, I'm Raquel Ida, a corporate leader, woman of faith, and someone who gave herself one yes at a time until I barely recognized my own life. I learned the difference between giving yourself away and giving on purpose. And that's the work we do here. If you're ready to set boundaries, protect what matters most, and lead without losing yourself, let's learn to say yes on purpose. Okay, real talk. When was the last time you were actually off? I'm saying phone down, brain quiet, fully in the room with the people in front of you. If you had to stop and think about it, I already know the answer. Because here's what I see in women like you. You don't have an off switch anymore. You're salaried. The expectation is that you're reachable at all times, and you're always on. You answer the email on the sideline of your kid's game. You're just checking in while you're eating dinner with your family. You tell yourself it's only 5 minutes. And you're right. It is only 5 minutes. But the problem is you're never really there in the room with the people that you're actually physically sitting with. You're 1,000 miles away, all at the same time, thinking about work. Today we're talking about why this happens, why it's not actually loyalty, and what to do instead without torching the reputation you've spent years building. Before we get into it, pull up a chair for a second. This little show just landed in the top 5% of podcasts globally, and that is 100% you, the listeners that continue to show up, who share this with a friend, and who say this one's for you. I promise you I don't take it lightly. And if you're hearing my voice right now in one of those stolen pockets of time you have throughout the day, whether that's like a carpool line, or if you're like me, you're hiding in the pantry for 90 seconds just to get some quiet away while your kids are home for the summer, I want to thank you. I also have a free Facebook group called Setting Boundaries in Corporate. That's where the conversation keeps going between these episodes. Search the name on Facebook and answer a couple of questions and come sit with us. And if your inbox is more of your speed, I do send out a weekly email to all my insider list. No fluff, no daily noise, just the real stuff, straight to you. You can jump on that at raquelida.kit.com/insider. That's raquel-ita.kit.com/insider. I'll put both the links in the show notes below so you can click on them. All right, let's talk about this. So this story is personal. A while back, I took my family out of state for a weekend. We had so been looking forward to this vacation. A new place, no agenda, just us. And I ended up bringing my whole job with me. Not in the suitcase, in my thumb. I just checked at the gate. I just checked my email at breakfast. I just checked in when we were out and about at the zoo. There was an email that came across at that time that I said it was only I that could answer. So I physically got up and stepped away from my kids' experience at the zoo and answered the email. And I missed my son's opportunity when he got to see a very giant live tortoise. I spent the whole weekend physically present with my family, but mentally back at my desk, bracing for the next thing that needed me. And here's the part that still gets me. Nothing was needed from me. I came back Monday, and the world had kept turning. The thing that I thought had to be handled, somebody else could have handled. The fire I was guarding against never actually started. They were really fine without me. And I sat with that because it stung. I gave that weekend away. A weekend I can't get back with my family. And I didn't even give it for a real reason. I gave it out of fear. Fear that if I went dark, I'd look less committed at my job, less essential, like I dropped the ball. That's the moment I want to talk to you about, because I think you've lived your own version of this. So here's the myth we're busting today. If I set a boundary, if I actually unplug, I'll look less committed and it'll cost me. That's literally what we think in our mind. I want to say the quiet part out loud because I know it's the first thing in your head. But I'm salaried. Being available is the job, right? Let's look at that for a moment. Pull out your offer letter sometime. Read it. I'll wait. You know that's not in there at all? It doesn't say reachable at all times. Answers within an hour on vacation. That was never the deal. Salaried means you're paid for the outcome, the work, the leadership, the result, not being on call 24 hours a day. Always available isn't a contract. It's a cultural script you absorbed and then started enforcing on yourself harder than anyone ever enforced it on you. So here's the truth that busts the myth. Boundaries don't make you less reliable. They make you predictably reliable, and that's worth more. Think about it from your manager's side for a second. The person who's always on, but burnt out, half present, and one bad week from a collapse, that's not actually a dependable person. That's a risk. The person's leadership, trust, is the one who can step away for the weekend and nothing drops. Because that leader built something that runs without her. That's not a liability. That's a leadership signal. And here's the reframing I want you to carry. When you're on approved time off and the team, I like to air quotes, needs you, that is not proof you're essential. That's proof there was a gap you never actually closed before you left. The answer isn't to stay chained to your phone forever. The answer is to close the gap before you go. So let me give you the actual move. 3 small pieces that you can run all 3 before your next day off. And this is the thing you can do right now. 1 is the coverage handoff. Before you log off, name who's covering. Out loud, in writing. While I'm out on Thursday and Friday, Sarah's got the client questions. Marcus has the report. Now you're not abandoning ship. You're handing off the wheel on purpose to those that are on your team. The single move is the difference between going dark and feeling reckless and responsible because you actually spent time to put a plan in place. 2, the status before silence note. A short message before you go saying, here's where everything stands. This is being handled. This is in motion. This can wait till I'm back on Monday. You leave them 100% informed instead of guessing. And guessing is the thing that actually damages your reputation, not your absence. Being absent with a clear status note reads as organized, and that's the opposite of being less committed. 3, Define the true emergency for your team. Tell your coverage person exactly what counts as a reason to call you. And trust that if your phone doesn't ring, everything is 100% fine. Say, call me only if the system's down or if the client escalates to a VP. Anything else, it holds. Now, silence means safety, and you're not stuck on vacation, white-knuckling your phone, waiting for the other shoe, because you decided in advance where the shoe even was. So, coverage, status, and emergency criteria, that's it. And notice what it does. It protects you, and it protects your employer. Nothing drops, the work's covered, the company comes out ahead, and you actually get your weekend back. Nobody loses. That's why this boundary survives a corporate environment when I'm just unreachable sometimes doesn't survive. Now, here's where I want to bring God into this because I think he settles something we wrestle with on this side of heaven. We as humans carry this belief that the rest has to be earned, that stepping away is slacking, and the truly committed employees just push through. So let me show you something. There's a moment in the Bible, this is in Mark chapter 6, verse 31, where Jesus's closest workers have been going nonstop. So many people have been coming and going, they don't even have time to eat. Does that sound familiar to you? And Jesus doesn't say push through. There's more to do. He says, come away to a quiet place and get some rest. Sit with that for a second. The people did the most important work there was, and the instruction wasn't more. It was rest. God himself built rest into the rhythm. He took a day off and called it holy. So if rest is good enough for God, the guilt you're carrying about unplugging, that's not conviction. That's the cultural script talking. Mark 6:31 is God's confirmation that going dark on purpose isn't you failing. It's you doing the thing you were designed to do. So here's where it all lands. And this is the heartbeat of everything I've been talking through and teaching. You don't lose yourself by giving too much. You lose yourself by giving for the wrong reasons. Staying plugged into the weekend out of fear, that was the wrong reason. It didn't make me more valuable. It just made me absent in the one place my presence actually mattered. This isn't about giving less. Your generosity is a gift, so keep it. It's about giving on purpose and saying yes to the email when it's truly yours to answer. And saying a covered plan confidently that says, I'll be back on Monday, and stick with that the rest of the time. That is not less commitment. That's a woman who finally knows the difference. So this week, before your next day off, even if it's a Saturday, run the 3 things. Name your coverage, send the status note, define the emergency for the people that are covering for you. Then, check out, go dark, and watch the world keep turning without you. And come tell me how it went in the Facebook group, Setting Boundaries in Corporate. Or reply to my weekly insider email if you're on the list. I want to hear about it. Okay, before you go, I hope today's episode gave you something real. Would you take 30 seconds and share it with a friend who's burning out or already burnt out and ready for what's next? Also, please leave a quick written review on Apple Podcasts. It lights me up to know that this is helping you. I'll meet you back in the next episode. Until then, be the light.